business, Lady Ada.
Hey, everybody.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. So we do show and tell about half of the month, and the other half we have Noah, Pedro, and JP fill in. Thank you to them for giving us a little bit of a break. Sometimes we need. But now we're back. It's your favorite.
By break, it means we just do work during that time and then do the Ask an Engineer show afterwards.
Pretty much. It's another half an hour I can do electronics. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada on camera control. We're here at the Adafruit factory in downtown Manhattan, where we do all the engineering, kitting, manufacturing, shipping, testing, videoing, coding, and more. And also the loving. Love each other. We've got an exciting show for you tonight. Next half hour is going to be people from around the community coming by and showing up what they are working on, whether it's 3D printing or electronics or cosplay or more electronics. We're here. We're going to kick it off with Kevin, Jeff. Sorry,
I wanted to say hi to.
Hi, Jeff.
Well, you know what? I saw the shiny, so we're gonna go to Jeff right after.
Wow, I feel bad for cutting in front of Kevin. Sorry, Kevin.
The demo is so cool. So we're gonna get to Jeff just in a second, but I got distracted. Sorry.
But you'll see this soon. But first up, we're going to go to Kevin.
All right, you're the opening act tonight.
Well, now you have me curious. I want to see Jeff.
You got to stick around now.
Yeah, well, I always stick around. Yeah. But it's great to see you guys. How have you guys been?
Good.
Everything is much better now. I think like a lot of the United States and companies and more, we're in recovery mode. We took care of all the things that we need to do to keep everyone safe, and now we're just trying to get through the holidays. A little bit of chip shortage, a little bit of supply chain stuff. I
did find some chips before the show. I was desperate for some chips, and I found some on Digikey. Just good.
But things are doing so. If folks are interested in visiting one of the best cities in the world, I think New York is a lot of fun right now because things are open up. We went to a fun Strangers Things exhibit, and they used all the Adafruit electronics for all the things.
Food.
So it's happening. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next time you come out too, by the way, Kevin.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be out there in June for sure, and I'm hoping to come out before that because I miss it. It's been 2 years, and I get to travel and have a business meeting for the first time in 2 years on Friday.
Yay.
Granted, I'm driving 2 hours away, but I get to meet with our good friend Allie Weber at Robot Maker Girl. It's pretty exciting. She's touring a college. I'm like, I'll meet you there.
That's good.
So
cool.
It's cool.
That's how they grow up. All right.
What do you got going on this week?
So Digikey's doing great. We're getting product in. We're getting product in as fast as. We're getting it out as fast as it comes in. Yeah. So we're not really making any headway on inventory, but we have a lot of product. We actually have the Raspberry Pi Zero Wireless 2. So that's kind of Zero 2.
Okay, everybody go buy some because they're going to be out.
Yeah, we have some. We're not going to have them long, but if anybody wants them,
like minutes,
grab them. So over Halloween, I made this really creepy 3D scan of myself and 3D printed it. It's really, really creepy. And my 7-year-old son was like, Dad, you need to put some legs on it and make it walk. So I'm in the process. It's not ready yet. But I'm using the see if I can turn my camera down a little. I'm using the Cricut with the Feather Cricut, and I'm going to control this over Bluetooth with the Bluefruit app, and I'm going to make this thing walk.
Oh. So
I got to, I'm going to do the elbows and the wrists or the hips and the knees, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Make the thing walk over Bluetooth. So it's kind of a lot of fun to learn, keep learning more about the CircuitPython and the Cricut and how this works, and running 8 servos, actually 9 because I'm gonna have the head spin.
Oh my god! So, but you got all the servos you want from Digikey.
Exactly. It's like a candy store of electronic components.
People are like, why should I work for Digikey? Because you get all this stuff, like all the components you want.
Yeah, it's great. It is great. Unfortunately, supply chains limit things, of course, but
I know.
But no, things are going great. This is kind of a fun project that was inspired by my creepy head and my son. But it was even creating that.
Yeah.
The technology is so amazing. Like taking my iPhone and taking a 3D scan of my head and exporting an STL to print. It was way easier than it should have been. And it's just amazing where things have came.
Look how jaded we are. It's like that should have been harder. I should have had to suffer for that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool to be able to do stuff, and it's it's pretty detailed.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I talked to Jim. Jim's the chief marketing officer, I believe is still his title at Digikey, and Adafruit is planning a trip to Thief River Falls next year. Finally, it got postponed because of last year, So we'll make some noise about that as soon as that happens.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you here. We got some really exciting stuff going on in the facility and Digikey in general. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just maybe spring. No, maybe I'll skip the winter. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Take care, guys.
All right. You've clamored for it. It's time for Jepler.
We had the opening act, so take it
Hi,
away.
yeah. So you might recognize these guys. We got Minerva and Blinka here. And so I'm just going to show off a couple of the new things I've added to the Bitmap Tools library of CircuitPython. That's a built-in module on some of the higher end boards. So you can now dither with 2 dithering algorithms.
What are the 2? What are they called?
So let's see. This one is Atkinson, and it is kind of famous for being the one in HyperCard, quote unquote. And then this is Floyd Stenberg, which is kind of the other big popular one.
Okay.
And so you can take any image that's like a 16 bits per pixel image and dither it down to just black and white. So yeah, and then do what you want with it. Kind of gives you a retro look.
It's cool for, we do that built in for e-ink displays, but still for OLEDs and stuff, this could be handy.
Yeah, yeah. And then over here, we've got Alpha Blend. So we've got the 2 images and we're mixing them in like 50% one and 50% the other, or 20% one and 80% the other to switch between them. And then the other thing you can do with that is if you always mix 0% of one of the images, you get a fade in and fade out. So
I work from just the backlight. It's like you're actually changing the color.
I'm changing the actual pixels that are sent to the LCD. And so I did a lot of work to kind of study what are the algorithms that you use and how do you make them perform as well as you can on these kinds of microcontrollers. And I mean, in terms of frame rate, I feel really good about it. It looks nice.
That's nice.
There are some bugs that I found while I was assembling this demo, and we'll get those addressed soon, but you can try this now if you go and grab the latest release. I really recommend an ESP32S2 with PS RAM because like the images alone take up about a half a meg of RAM. So it'll only work on those boards with a lot of capabilities.
Well, we're putting in the Feather ESP32S2, which comes with 2 megabyte of PS RAMs.
Yeah, that'll be great for this. This is the Kaluga Dev Kit. But any board with PS RAM that you can put an LCD on is a great choice for trying this stuff out. And I'm not showing it in this demo, but you can do all of these things with live images from the camera stuff that I've been working on. And that's kind of the secret use of this. But I know a lot of people are going to look at this and say, I have another idea for my next project that'll be even better with this stuff.
People will be able to make their own Python-powered cameras very soon. Yeah. All right, Jeff. Well, thank you so much. This was delightful.
Yeah, happy to be back on Show and Tell. It had been a little while.
And for the HyperCard fans out there, you're going to like what we got going on. You're going to like it. It's pretty cool. Okay.
All right, take care.
Next, Melissa, what you got going on this week?
I have a tablet here, and you can see on screen I'm showing it's kind of sending it to here, which actually helped with my debugging. And I have a clue board here. And I'm going to go ahead and connect to them with Bluetooth here.
That's nice. I like the little Bluetooth graphic.
Yeah, is that simulated or is that actually on the screen?
It's actually on the screen.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I just kind of threw like the logo into an existing animation. Oh, I went to the wrong URL for some reason.
You're going to your router.
I had it running locally on my computer for a bit, so let me try this again here. Demos and all that.
And this is live on code.circuitpython.org?
Yeah.
Ooh. And using Bluetooth to connect.
So it's showing everything that's on my device here. And I can go ahead and browse different files here. It'll show the little animation whenever it's like communicating with Bluetooth. So if I wanted to, certain files, like if I have a WAV file, I can't open that obviously because it's a binary, but if it's like a JSON file, I could open it if I wanted to. Let's look at this boot.py one here. So that's a lot faster. So you can open up stuff besides code.py on here if you wanted to. and that way you can edit any files that you want to or any libraries that you need to. And if you hit the save and run, it'll actually go and switch over to the serial console, and it'll actually send a control D to the device, so it actually goes and loads it up. I think there might be some error on this code or something, but then we can just switch at the bottom here over to the editor to edit the code. You can go to a new document if you want, and it'll just show you that.
I like the debug stats. It tells you
This
like
is cool.
what the commands it's sending.
Oh yeah, that really was helpful for doing it on the mobile device. So if I wanted to open up, like, I think code 1, 2, and 3 might be the same copies of the same one, and then you can just kind of go ahead and edit your code if you want.
Cool.
So
All right. Come on.
this should make it really easy for people who want to be able to, if they don't have a computer or something and they want to be able to edit their code, they could do that. And
Yeah.
I'm working on writing up some documentation in a Learn Guide, so that should be out here soon.
All right. And as soon as it gets to a spot that you say, okay, we'll do some videos and more, and we'll show people how they can code anywhere with anything and do it mobile. It's already the future, and it has been distributed. And so now we just have to figure out a way to help folks code on the things that they have with them at all times.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Melissa.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cool. Next up, Paint Your Dragon. What is going on?
Hi. Yeah, that's nothing to look at yet, but I'll show from my overhead camera here in a sec.
Okay.
Anyway, every now and then we're doing some kind of audio reactive project. We just had one with the glasses, the LCD specs or LED specs. And every time we do one of these, it's like the code either works in Arduino or CircuitPython or Raspberry Pi, or, it's for this chip and not for that chip. And it gets really annoying because
Yes.
you just don't have the same thing everywhere. And every FFT algorithm has like an accent. I don't know how to explain it. It never looks the same.
Right once, run anywhere was a lie.
Yeah. So anyway, Lamar had this idea, what if we put the FFT on its own chip? And what if it was like something that was not, supply constrained? And so I've been working on that. And let me find the camera
back here, or do you want me to?
No, here's the camera. So I'll just show you the hardware this is running on. It's an tiny dev board from Microchip. It's this tiny thing with 512 bytes of RAM running at 10 megahertz. It's like, what can you do with that, right? And then just analog mic breakout. But anyway, this is an I2C device, and it's hooked up to a Metro right now. But it could hook up to anything because it's an I2C device. And then if you go over to the other window, so the Metro is sending what it read over I2C. It's now sending it over serial to my computer, which is running some Python stuff. And there we can see the graph is coming out. It's like working despite only having 512 bytes of RAM.
I like that you logged into a BBS to get this sensor data out.
I didn't have time to hook up LEDs and stuff, but like Python, you can do.
No, I like it. It's cool.
Just crap out anything in a hurry in Python, right?
Yes.
So there we are. We're looking at the graph of it's actually an FHT, which is similar kind of to an FFT.
It's only the real part. It's not the phase information.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's the stuff you want to look at if you're doing a neat light show with sound. That's what you want to see, and it's working. So I hope we're able to make this into a thing.
Cool. Yeah, I want to make it into a little STEMMA QT board because there's so many people who are like, I just want audio out, and people use the MSEG chip, MSEG 7, and it's a fine chip and it's wonderful and all, but I feel like it would be good to have something all in one with the microphone and has I2C out instead of the MSEG, which is like analog and you click it. It's a little bit weird. It's not. It doesn't solve the problem of like if you don't have analog inputs.
It's peculiar, and also I don't know if it's made anymore. I think you have to buy lingering supplies that get more and more expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna do like a MEMS mic with this, an analog MEMS mic with an amplifier, and then maybe a little pot people can trim if they need to, but then go straight into the AT Tiny 817, and then it'll pop this out. And it's not great, but it's good enough.
Yeah,
You know?
no, you just want something, a flashy display that gives an impression of. It's not science, it's not like a scientific tool. It's
It's just that this is really hard to do on an Uno. Like it's really hard. It's like either this is built in like on CircuitPython or it isn't. And so yeah. So
Right.
now that you got the hard work, I was like, I didn't know if it would fit. Shout out to Guest who wrote the FHT algorithm. Guest was the co-designer of the Zoxbox, and also wrote this library, FHT.
Still making stuff.
Yeah. So Phil, you're like, how do you know we have permission to do this? And it's like, because we
Okay.
worked on projects together already.
That's good to know. Okay, excellent. So
All right.
Anyway, I'm excited by this, and
This
it's
is cool.
kind of solves this ongoing issue we've had.
I know, because you're constantly rewriting this code over and over again. So hopefully now we're done.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
All
I'm.
right.
Yep.
Thank you, Phil B. Next up, and Pedro, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, folks? Yeah, so this week we got to 3D printed props. This is a collab project with Phil B. These are from Star Trek, the animated series. Pedro's got the total conversion weapon version, and I have the talking computer version. So we got a little slide switch right here. Turn it on. Has a bit of a boot up sound. And shout out to Kathy for her voice assistant. That's not her voice. This is her voice.
You didn't say the magic word.
So this has some key switches on top, so you can trigger different sound effects.
We were on a mission. I may not tell you of it unless you know certain code words.
And it's all CircuitPython. We got a cool little slider here, but it's also got the ray gun sort of sound effect.
It's like the best prop.
It's a lot of fun. We got magnets in there as well, so you can pop it open. It's just the Feather M4, a little amplifier, and a mini oval speaker. You got the LED over there, and the key switches. Magnets, they work this way. There you go. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Definitely check out the video that we got up on YouTube's, and we got a learn guide finally published. You can check that out and build either version or both versions. And definitely check out the video because you're going to see a nice
treat.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing the video tonight on Ask an Engineer.
Thanks,
All right, thanks, folks. I love the prop maker Featherwing is whenever you do props, we're like, let's throw this in here, and it always is the right thing.
It says what it does.
It says what it does, and it does what it says. All right, next up,
Speaking
Scott.
of does what it does.
Do I look like
saying.
I've been like desperately working all day to get something for show and tell?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I know that feels. All right, so what do you have to, Scott?
I'm trying. So one of the last things to do for the Raspberry Pi, one of the first basic things to do for the Raspberry Pi is adding support for the SD card, and I have it almost working. What I'm trying to figure out here is this like status register code is not right, so it's causing problems. But what I can do, what does work, is if I do import os.lister, I can actually see that I have files.
Do you have the files? You have the files?
I have files, so I was able to create the file system on it. The challenge, the thing that I'm trying to fix that I really will probably figure out the moment I stop trying to fix it is right now it's not reading the card capacity correctly. So if I plug in USB, it tries to read the end of the partition, which is higher than what this code thinks the capacity is. So trying to figure out why the capacity read is not right. And I haven't yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out.
All right. So Friday deep dive. Folks can tune in for the chilling conclusion.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have fixed it by then.
Okay. Or
I hope
it'll
so.
be a sequel.
Yeah, or it'll be a sequel. We'll see. I don't know if I'm working on it that long, I'll take a break and work on something else,
All right.
like I2C or getting the building working so it's easy to share and install.
All right. You're really close. It's looking good.
So close.
You could do display IO support for HDMI, so you can.
I think it's basically there. I think it's basically
you
there.
can also have support for the second HDMI output, because then you could have REPL on one screen and display IO on the other, which is just a total nightmare. But whatever.
Yeah, if anybody knows how that works, let me know. I'm just doing the like GPU mailbox call, and I don't know if there's a way to be like, hey, give me a frame buffer for the second screen. I haven't seen that. So if anybody knows how to do that, let me know. I'd love to add that.
Yeah, you can do like for now, you can do split screen REPL where like the bottom is the REPL, like Apple Basic style. Love that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll play around with it.
Okay, cool.
All righty. Thanks so much, Scott.
Great update,
Keep up the
Scott.
good work.
Thank you.
Okay.
Godspeed.
Next up, JP, and then we got 3 people after us. So everybody keep it to like a minute and a half, 2 minutes as usual. We'll be able to get to everybody. JP, what you got going on?
Super. If you go to the other screen I just shared, I have buttoned up this project. So this was a inexpensive animatronic doorbell that I got at a Halloween shop, and I have cricketed it. So all of the motors, the LED, and the speaker, as well as listening to the button that's on the front there, go through my Cricket and the Feather NRF, not NRF, RP2040 here, running CircuitPython, and that means I can do my own custom animations, custom light blinks, and custom MP3s. So I have one on here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Here's a new one.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Luke.
Luke who?
Look through the peephole and find out.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Again.
So one other thing I added to it that I'd love to show is I can bridge some of the little signal pins here and put it into an attract mode. So now it won't do any sound. It's just going to do some eyeball animation for a randomized amount of time, blink, close, and repeat that. So that's something that absolutely didn't exist in the original, but I wanted it and now I have it.
This is definitely for Halloween. This is what you want because you want people to be like, hey, what's going on there? Like, come over and pay attention. And this is super cool.
All right, we'll be playing this video on the show tonight, and then you have your show tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
I got a fun project I'm going to be starting on tomorrow on the show, so come on by for the workshop show. Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, JP.
Thank you, JP.
Bye.
All right, next up,
Liz, and then we're going to go to Gustav, and then we'll wrap up with Mark. Liz, take it away.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
So I'm in the middle of working on this dreidel RGB matrix project. So it's kind of a spaghetti of wires right now, but I've got a break beam sensor, and when I break the beam, the dreidel spins.
That's nice.
And then while that's showing, I started working on the CAD. So this will be kind of the back, because there's going to be a servo motor involved. So I'll mount here, and a speaker, which is mount right there, and I'll keep it propped up. I do have music playing when it goes, but it's a test wave that I was worried would cause a copyright strike, so I don't have it playing right now. But when it hits Gimel, though, it'll keep playing the song, and also the servo will move for a special effect that I should be able to show off next week, hopefully.
Gimel is G for give me all the chocolate.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
And Liz, it's good to see you, and we're going to see you in person probably in December. Oh my gosh, can't wait to see you.
I'm hyped.
So I'll let you know the dates as we figure out the timing and all that. But I'm very much looking forward to. HD is fine, but proximity is nice too. So
we'll go down to Austin. We'll tear it up like the undergrads.
All right.
Excellent.
Cool. I'll see you later, Liz. Good work.
See you. Have a good one.
All right, Gustav, what's going on?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I was on several weeks ago talking about I made this board game timer web app with Bluetooth, connecting it to electronics to allow people to use remote controls so you can put the phone away.
2 Bluetooth projects tonight.
Yeah.
This is the most ever. I think this is like the 2 projects. By the way.
Web Bluetooth is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad we're seeing more projects.
It's the best way to do Bluetooth cross-platform.
Yeah. And it allows you to make hardware that interacts with web applications, which is super cool. So I started looking for things that is around someone's home that they can repurpose as a remote control for the app. So I found these pill bottles. In the US, you have these typical pill bottle things.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a cool enclosure for a little electronics project. So I got this little button. This is the arcade button with an LED hack in it. So the current player color is shown here.
I like it changes color.
Yeah, and if I press, so this is the color of the current player. So this is the web app.
Yeah.
Lady Ada.
And there's Lady Ada, of course. Blue. So what this is, it's a little itsy bitsy Bluetooth with a battery and a little power switch. And then the clever thing is that the white lid here, I made a hole in it so that I could put the button through it. And then all you need to do there it is you just screw it
Yeah,
on.
you screw it down and then you snap it
Yeah.
open. It's good. It's durable.
I love pill bottles as project enclosures. I know it's weird, but I really like it.
No, they're great because they're
There's
easy.
no-
they're easy to open
no-
if you know what to do, but they don't
Easy
come
to
apart.
open, and there's no 3D printing required. So you might have some, and it's fun. It's fun to like drill the hole and all that
I
stuff.
love it. It
and
looks
soldering
perfect.
And
Yeah.
So this is. I have a guide. I'll put it on the chat where I went through all the steps of how to make this, and
Okay.
then you can make it for whatever you want. It doesn't have
It
to be
looks
for the game
great.
timer.
Right on. Great
Yeah, we
work.
should totally try putting a feather. It looks like it would fit a feather quite nicely. All right, nice work, Gustav. Thank you for coming by.
Good work.
All right, last but not
right.
least, Mark and his glasses.
Oh wow, that looks great.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I was here showing off the glasses running in Python on CircuitPython, but I have now moved this over to being in the actual CircuitPython build in native code. So now you can display text and anything through display IO at reasonable frame rates. It's pretty much running at the same speed as Arduino code is.
Yeah.
Yay!
That looks really good.
Nice work. Thank you so much for doing that. I was going to do it, and then I just got really busy. But I released all this other cool hardware, but
Yeah.
you did it. So yay!
Yeah, so I plan to put the PR in soon. There's a really nasty memory bug right now that I need to solve first, but hopefully by this weekend I can get at least a draft PR in and see what people do with it.
All
I'm
right.
digging it.
Looking
work.
good. And then we have a lot of neat stuff that we're cooking up with a new app called PyLeap. And if you remember, Mark, drop me a note, pt.datafruit.com, and we'll get you on the beta and allow people to do Bluetooth stuff to the glasses. So you might want to play around with that combination of the two. Just drop me a note and we'll get you on it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark.
Awesome.
Cool.
Perfect timing. Thank you, everybody, for wrapping up. It was great to see all of you.
This is, I've had some good half an hours recently, but this one's up there. Every single week we do the show and tell.
That's right.
For over a decade, and we get a chance to hang out with people. And like I was saying earlier, some of these folks we get to finally see in person again.
I can't
Looking
wait.
forward to seeing many of you.
I'm going to get Mary Chung's, and this time I'm going to do it with Liz.
Okay.
Liz
All
is
right.
like, what are you making me do?
We'll see everyone on Ask an Engineer in a few minutes. Show and tell next week. JP's posting. JP show is tomorrow. And then don't forget, deep dive with Scott next week. Let's see how far he gets with this.
Swan the chow chow for me.
Yeah. All right.
I deserve
More
it.
is very food motivated. Okay.
I like
We'll
Swan
see
the chow chow.
everybody next week. Thanks so much. That's your show and tell. Ask an Engineer starts in 2
3
minutes.
minutes. Bye, everybody.